Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book haul, and these books are from the last 2 weeks or so. So since then, my chapters in my city has opened, so I have been there. I only got 2 books from there, but I have a whole booklet. Let me show you. I have a whole booklet. This booklet is 7 or 8 pages long because I wanted to write out all the synopses for the books that I have. Also, I hope the shadow's not annoying. I could not set up the lighting for this video, so here we are. First, I'm going to start off with the actual physical books that I have, and I'm actually going to do ebooks in this book haul, which I normally don't, but it's still part of the book haul. So let me just explain these. I have a lot of books that I got, so I'm not going to be explaining them the way that I would want to explain them, like go more in depth. So let's start off with the 2 books that I got from chapters. So the first book that I have is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and I know that this book is a great book and it's a movie, I think, but this book, I don't know much about it. I know that the main character lives in a black neighborhood. That's how she says it. And that she goes to a prep school and she has to deal with one of her friends being murdered by a police officer, even though it was unjust. I'm really excited to read this book. Apparently it is amazing. I have not seen the show or the movie. So the next book that I got is You by Carolyn Kepnes. I've really wanted this book for so long just because I loved the TV series. I finished season 2 in one day. So good. I just love the fact, I love sociopaths are so interesting to me. I don't know why, but I am really excited to read this. I love a good stalker story, and like I said, I love the TV series, so yeah. The next books that I got are from Costco because Costco always sells books and they're always super cheap. So I got 3 books from Costco. The first book that I got from Costco is The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn, and I actually have a reading vlog on this if you want to go check that out. But this book is about a woman who is in her house because she has agoraphobia, and she watches her neighbors, and then some tragic accident happens and she has to figure out if she's just seeing things. It was a very good book. It took a bit to get into, but it was good overall. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars, so. The next book I have is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, and this is the prequel to the Hunger Games series. I believe that we follow Jon Snow in this book. It is a big book. I think it's bigger than her other 3 books in the series. So I'm excited to read this one. Probably over the summer I'm gonna read all of the Hunger Games books, including this. The next book that I got is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I'm not. This book is about a woman who murders her husband and then she refuses to speak. She just doesn't speak. And I guess I gotta figure out what she does. I'm not really sure. This book got really, really great reviews. So I'm really excited to get this. And I was gonna get it at Chapters, but it was $25. And Costco had it for $14. I mean, deal. The next books that I got were from Book Outlet, and I actually was not going to film this today because I didn't know if they were going to get here early, but they got here today. I have 4 books from Book Outlet. I love Book Outlet. The first book is Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt, and this book, I did not realize how small it was, but I've read this book 3 or 4 times because I read it for school a few times and I've seen the movie a few times. I love this book so much. It's so good. And Alexis Bledel, who is the main character in the movie, love her so much because Gilmore Girls is my jam. I'm so excited to reread this. I'm glad that I have a physical copy for my own shelf because, wow, this book's good. I should probably explain what the book's about. There is this fountain that has the water, if you drink it, then you live forever. And we follow the family who drank from it. and the girl who is still mortal, and anyway, it's about all of their stories together. Such a good book. You probably have read it for school. I'm not really sure the reading criteria for other schools. The next book that I got is called All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood. This book, I believe, is about, we follow this young girl and her parents, or just dad. Anyway, her parents are meth dealers, and she has to essentially be the parent to her younger brother. So she is mature for her age because she's had to grow because of circumstance. And one of her father's thugs ends up getting in a bike crash, like a motorcycle crash. And I think it's a love story between them, but I'm not really sure. This book is very controversial, I believe. I remember the reason I got this book is because Chandler Ainsley did a taste test, and this was one of the books in it, and it seemed really interesting to me. I wish I got the hard copy, but beggars can't be choosers. The next book I have is Annalie in Real Life, and I normally don't get books unless they've been recommended by another YouTuber or I've seen them somewhere, but this book sounded really, really good. It sounded like something that I could possibly relate to. It's called Annalie in Real Life. Did I say that already? By Janelle Mullanes. And this book is about Annalie, and let's see. Ever since her mom died 3 years ago, Annalie, anyway, I think it's a coming of age story, maybe. I believe that she has to deal with some issues in her life, and I thought that it would be a really nice, wholesome book to read. I'm not really sure what it's about. Sorry, if you really want to know, check Goodreads. The next book that I have is Save the Date by Morgan Matson, and this book is also from Chandler Ainsley's taste test video, I think. And I remember her saying in her video that she wished that she read it when she was a senior in high school, and I'm almost a senior in September, so I thought maybe this would be a perfect time to read this. But I also think this one's a coming of age story, and she has to learn to deal with family issues and whatnot. Apparently this was really good, so I'm actually really excited to read this book. So I was just flipping through the books, and this is a signed copy. So the next books that I have, let me see, are from Amazon. I have 3 from Amazon. Gotta love Amazon in this time. The first book that I have is called The Raft by S.A. Bodine. And when I was in grade 7, I remember this brings me back. When I was in grade 7, I think I read this book 5 times in the span of 3 months, 4 months maybe. I read this book so much because I loved it so much. This book is about this girl who was, I don't remember what her name is, Robbie. She was staying with her aunt, I believe, and she was gonna fly back at the end of the summer and go back with her parents. But the plane crashed, and she has to live on the water where there is no land to be seen, and she has to live and fight for her life on this little blow-up raft, hence The Raft. This book is so good. I just love this book so much. The next book that I have is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, and now that I'm talking about this book, I realized that I said that this is over the last 2 weeks, but this must be like the last month because this was in my TBR. Anyway, this book is about this woman who has to go back to her hometown because she's a journalist, I think, and there's some stuff that goes down in her hometown and she has to figure it out, but she also has to live with her family, her mother and her sister, and that is just a no-go. But obviously Gillian Flynn is an awesome thriller, horror, mystery writer, so I'm really excited to read this. So the next book that I have is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagera. I need to learn how to say people's names. This book is about a artist, I believe, and I'm not sure. Anyway, they have to go through their life. I really do not know what this book is about. I know that I'm gonna cry, and I think her YouTube is Paperback Dreams. Kat from Paperback Dreams read this and she loved it, and she's very strict on books, in my opinion. So I hope that I'll like that. It's a big book, probably at least 650. It's 800 pages. So this is gonna be a task, but I'm so excited that I have this book. That was all of my physical books. Now I'm going into my ebooks. If you don't want to hear about any of my ebooks, then I guess this is the end of the video for you. Thanks for watching. But I have quite a few ebooks that I got. I normally just get romance for my ebooks just because it's like, I don't know, easier. Anyway, so I'm going to kind of give the rundown on these books, but when I get ebooks, I get them really quickly, so I don't know much about them. The first book I got the 3 books in the All Saints High series by LJ Shen, and I know that she is a very much talked about author. You would think I would know how to speak, but clearly I do not. Anyway, so I got Pretty Reckless 1, Broken Night, which is the second one, and Angry God, which is the third one. What happens? I think each book follows a different person in the storyline. I'm not really sure what it's about. Actually, it says Angry God is the only standalone. Anyway, dark high school romance. Seems pretty good. It's talked about quite a bit, and I think it's got good reviews on it. The next books that I have are the Mr. Black Duet by Shanora Williams, and the ebook version has a different name than the paper version. So I'm going to call it by the paper version name because it literally confused me so much. I don't know why. But the first one is Tainted Black, and the second one is Untainted. So we follow Mr. Black, who is, I think, this girl's dad's friend, but he's also his boss. Oh, here we go. We got a quick... Tainted Black is a forbidden love story about a girl who helplessly falls for her best friend's father. Oh, snap. After a tragic accident ends the life of Theo Black's wife, he turns to the one person he has always found interesting, Chloe Knight, the girl from across the street, his daughter's best friend, and a person that is considered completely off limits for him. I'm ready to read this book. Damn. I did not know it was that juicy. Anyway, this is the Voyeur series, and I only got the first one, and I have read it since, actually. So it's Voyeur number 1, and I did really enjoy this book. I think I only give it 3 stars, but like a high 3 stars. So it is about this, I wouldn't call it a sex club, but it's a club, and this man goes there, and he sees a girl that he becomes like completely infatuated with, and it turns out, bam, that's his student. Forbidden love. It was a good book. It got a little repetitive, I think, with the main character's like self-loathing. Is that the right word? I think you know what I mean. Sorry. The next book that I have is the Sweet Rose series by Jack Harbin. Oh, did I say who the last one was by? Fiona Cole. That's who the last one was by. The next book is by Jack Harbin. It's the Meet Cute Club. It's the first one. And it is a LGBT romance. I guess this guy asked this other guy to join this club, and I don't know, seems pretty good. It's got good reviews. It was only published at the beginning of this month, so it's pretty new. Wow. Then this is the last book that I have that's in a series. I got the first one in the Wicked Villain series by Kate Robert, and it's called Desperate Measures. Oh, I do know this one. So the Wicked Villain series is a Disney characters adaptation into a dark romance, and this one is Jafar. That's Aladdin, right? I think so. That's in the Aladdin movie. I know that the third one, which I think is Tinkerbell, is really good. I also got this book recommended by a YouTuber. Not personally, but I wish. Anyway, so the next book I saw on Book Outlet, but I could have gotten it on ebook. So I got an ebook instead of getting it from Book Outlet. It's called Love from A to Z by S.K. Alley. Right, so I just tried to explain Love from A to Z, and it was not the book that I was thinking. So Love from A to Z, it is about this girl who has a friend who is diagnosed with multiple I'm not gonna say it because I can't. I think it's a romance, but yeah, I'm sorry about this, having to look at me look like this. So, yeah. So this next book I have is called Control Freak by Brianna Hale. This is a boss romance. So Lacey needs someone in her life who's bigger and scarier than her demons, and she wants that man to be me. Oh, so I really like when we get from the guy's perspective, honestly. Just because, what is my hair doing? Just because I feel like guys in general are thought of to be disattached from their emotions when they're not. So I really like to see it from the guy's perspective because then you can actually see how they're feeling. Anyway, so this is a boss romance. I think he goes for her. I think so. Anyway, so the next book I have is called It Seemed Like a Good Idea at the Time by Kylie Scott. So her father's best friend is who she's in love with, and she really, really liked him when she was younger, and she was like kind of always in love with him, but then she gets sent away, and then she comes back and she's an adult, and she still is in love with him. So that seemed like a good one. This next one's called Her Perfect by Stephanie Walls, and I'm pretty sure this is a teacher-student romance. Oh, Voyeur is also teacher-student romance, so if you're following along, and don't hate me because I'm jumping back and forth. Anyway, teacher-student romance. This is people either think this book is super good or super, super bad. So the next book is called Dark Notes by Pam Goodwin. I'm really excited to read this book. It is talked about a lot, actually. It is about this girl who she's had a bad home life, I believe, and she ends up going to this music school and kind of falls for her teacher. So I hope you guys enjoyed all of these books. I'm sorry that I couldn't explain them as well as I could. It's just because I had so many that I couldn't explain them as well as I'd like to, like I said at the beginning. But I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, because I'm going to film a video tomorrow of my May wrap-up. If you want to know how many books I read, you can check out tomorrow's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want any reading vlogs of one of these books or a couple of these books in one video, leave that down below. I'm really excited for all of these books, obviously. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!